Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Avatar news update video. Got a couple of, I suppose mainly products, comics and stuff like that. All of the news comes from comic solicitations here. I'm going to start off with something I talked about in one of my previous videos, but I didn't really mark it as a news video. It was just at the very start of my last Avatar discussion topic video, and that is the Aang Statue from Dark Horse Deluxe that we knew about before, but we're seeing it here for the first time in full color, seeing what the exact details look like, how it works in color. We have the price, $79.99, and the release date, which is June 22nd, 2016, and it's also going to be 8¼ inches tall. Overall, you know, it's a nice statue. It looks good overall. I do have some issues with the sculpt on the head, and specifically some of the paint applications and stuff like that. I don't like how high the eyebrows are above the eyes, and I don't like the expression on Aang's face. Something about the mouth and the closed mouth smile doesn't work for me on this specific pose. Aang, I don't know, it just looks off to me. I'm so used to Aang always smiling with like a big open mouth, and it's something if you go back and look at the other Dark Horse Deluxe statues. The Korra one, also closed mouth expression. The Aang statue from Korra, again closed mouth expression. There seems to be something with this artist that's sculpting these that just she doesn't want to open the mouths of these characters for some reason. It just means they're not perfect for me, that they do look a little odd just because of the mouth, but the rest of them looks pretty good. You know, obviously I don't have too much interest in these statues because they're very expensive for what they are, and again, I would much prefer like cheaper, smaller action figures so you can really just get a good physical representation of the character without having to start collecting $80 statues. But yeah, that's just that news from last week. The Korra statue is coming out sometime in May, I believe, and yeah, that's coming out before then. So yeah, so there's some merchandise still coming out. It's definitely more expensive though. On the other side of things, more story focused, we have the next big piece of news, and that is we have some details on the Avatar The Last Airbender Smoke and Shadow Library Edition, or hardcover collection for the Smoke and Shadow series. Now, first of all, what is the Library Editions? Because everyone asks. A lot of people are very confused as to what they actually are. The Library Editions are just part 1, 2, and 3 of an Avatar comic series collected into one big hardcover book, and there are also some extras after the story. A couple of pages of the concept art, and then there's going to be annotations on the very sides of the pages. There's a gap left for them, where like the creators Gene Yang, Team Gurihu, sometimes Mike and Brian give some comments about the story and their insight into why they wrote it a specific way. So it's definitely like the deluxe collection of Smoke and Shadow. Like once the whole series is out, this Library Edition is the way to get the series, and not just buy parts 1, 2, and 3 individually. You know, it's a hardcover. You get a brand new cover, as you can see here, and the extras. So it absolutely is the best way to get the series. Now, this was announced early yesterday / Monday. Dark Horse on Twitter responded to someone basically just saying that, yeah, there is a Smoke and Shadow Library Edition coming. It's coming out in September, and that's all we got of it. People obviously then went looking and found that the cover had been put up on Amazon, and here we have it here. We also got the release date. Obviously Dark Horse said September. Amazon are saying October 11th, 2016. We all know, like, well, I'm wrong when I say that. Some comic fans know what the deal is with the release dates. If you look in a calendar, October 11th is going to be a Tuesday. Comics and books like this always come out on a Wednesday. And the way it tends to work is it's 13 days before the Amazon or mass market release date is the comic book store release date for this book. So you go back 13 days from October 11th, you get September 28th, which is basically the last time in September that the book can actually come out, the last Wednesday in September. So that makes complete sense. They're the release dates for the book. If you have a comic book store that you get your Avatar comics from, September 28th is going to be the day. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting until sometime in or around October 11th for Amazon or your local bookstore, Barnes & Nobles, whatever, to get the book in. A lot of Avatar fans are completely unaware of this. A lot of other Avatar sites are going to report this as just October 11th, leave out the September date, and people are going to be very confused in the lead up to the book coming out, asking where the September date is coming from, what's the deal, what's the difference with the two release dates. I'm just explaining it here as I explain it a lot of the times, so you guys are aware of what's actually going on. So let's actually talk about the cover itself. I think it's a really good looking cover. I think in terms of art-wise, just the quality of the art, it's definitely some of Gurihiru's best work. It completely fits the tone, what Smoke and Shadow is a series. You can see the bottom of the cover has the smoke there, the effect, just getting that across. And then running through corridors, underground corridors like that. We saw that in part 2. I assume we're going to see it in part 3 as they rush to find the kidnapped kids with Ukano and stuff like that. It's a very nice looking cover that suits this series. For the most part, I like the selection of the characters on the cover. Zuko and Mei absolutely needed to be on the cover. Aang, I don't mind being on the cover. I don't like that he's front and center, because he hasn't been front and center in this series. He was in part 1 for like a little bit, and then he obviously came back into things in part 2 and was there, but again isn't the focus. He's more of like the bystander looking on, and it's sort of helping things out because it's a spiritual matter somewhat. So I could understand it if this was the same cover, just Mei and Zuko in the front and Aang in the back of, just reverse that little triangle that they have going on there, like just Aang a step behind the other two, and I think it's a perfect cover. I get why they do it for marketing reasons, that like, oh, Aang's the main character of the Avatar franchise, you have to have him on the cover front and center, but this book is very focused on Mei and Zuko. Mei, I think, almost more so than Zuko, but, you understand why they have the people on the cover that they do. But, yeah, this should be a pretty cool book. Obviously, we're going to have to wait a good part of the year to actually get it. But it should be good when it comes out. The annotations never reveal a massive amount, but at times, if there's a controversial thing that comes up in the comics, they usually go and explain more the reasoning behind it. The concept art will be interesting to get as well, what they decide to focus on. I assume it will be the design for the Kamurakage and stuff like that. But yeah, very, very interesting reveal here. Nice to get this good and early before part 3 is even out. We know what the deal is with the library edition, so I know a lot of people are waiting for that book to come out so they don't have to buy parts 1, 2, and 3 separately and then buy the library edition. As a collector, I like to get both, so this is just good either way for me. Now, speaking of Smoke and Shadow Part 3, the full preview for this, I think, should be coming out in the next week or two, I would assume. If previous comics or anything to go by, the preview should be coming out any time now. So you can see the cover on screen here. We've known about this cover for a long time. The book is coming out March 30th in comic book stores. It's April 11th, no, April 12th from mass market. That's the Amazon release date. So it's coming out very end of March is the first time we're going to be able to get a hold of this book. So that's fun. And obviously it's part 3, the final part of Smoke and Shadow. So a lot of big reveals should be coming here. The cover, I've already discussed it before, but it's very nice. There's going to be some fights here. And we now know that one of the Kamurakage is Azula. So the cover now has a little bit more meaning. Aang and Zuko versus Azula. Seems a little bit like one-sided, given that we know Zuko can kind of handle Azula on his own. But maybe Azula has some more powers now. Maybe we don't know where she's been the last while. A lot of stuff has changed with her, and Azula is going to be interesting in part 3. what Ursa is up to, Ki, how they resolve the relationship stuff. A lot of stuff has to happen in part 3, so it should be very exciting. And yeah, of course I will be reviewing this on my channel. I'll be talking about all of the preview pages when we get them, and hopefully I'll be able to get a review copy and get the early review out for you guys, but I'm not really sure about that. But that's about all there is I wanted to talk about here. We also should be expecting the preview pages for the Korra Free Comic Book Day book that's coming. Free Comic Book Day is obviously happening the first Saturday in May, and we know there's a Korra, our Avatar comic this year is going to be a Korra story, and the preview pages, I assume it's only going to be 1 or 2 because it's a very short story, should be coming out in the next week or so, and I'll definitely talk about those as well. So we have a lot of comic news to expect in the next couple of weeks, so hopefully I'll have a lot more news videos to actually do, and a lot more Avatar content on my channel than the last couple of weeks. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.